You want to take advice from me? Is anybody out there? Ew. Do I have an intro? Is that a thing that we're gonna have? With Education Connection. Hey, I'm Sam. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a computer science senior at the University of Central Florida, and I'm graduating next semester. I came into college not really knowing what to expect. All I knew is that I wanted to leave a different person than who I started being in school. It was because I wanted it to be a really transformative experience, which sounds kind of extreme and a little bit dramatic. One of my big takeaways from my freshman year was something that I will tell you this time, and I probably won't tell you again, so write this one down. Stop it. Get some help. Get some help. My mental health suffered pretty dramatically my freshman year. Suddenly, I went from being in complete control of my schedule to having 5 difficult classes, being in the honors college, not really knowing my place, not really having friends entering college. You should really consider getting some kind of help. They're reaching out to friends, family, or getting professional help if possible. Even if you feel like you're doing mentally pretty well, you never know. It's kind of good to just preventatively talk to people. I also recommend getting super involved in a lot of clubs. One thing that I really wanted out of college was new friends and new experiences, to the point where I was more stressed about my clubs than about my classes, which I wish I had that problem now. The people I met my freshman year are still my friends today. My freshman roommate is actually my girlfriend now. While that might not happen to you, you never really know who you're gonna run into and carry through you. What? Another piece of advice, especially if you're in a STEM major, everyone's super hungry for the job, for the internships. You need to start your freshman year. If a position says it's only for a junior or a senior, just apply anyway. You never really know who's actually applying to these things. You can't really know unless you put yourself out there. Because of what I did in my freshman year by seeking out companies early, I had interviews with a lot of companies my sophomore year. That set the foundation for me going into my junior year and get the internship that I wanted the summer of my junior year. You never really know when a company is going to want you. So there's no harm in applying earlier because you're just giving yourself more opportunities to prepare. Throughout my 4 years of college, or my 3.5 years of college, I always took 5 classes every semester. I did this because I wanted to maintain a full load of classes, so if I dropped one, I'd still have a full credit load. Honestly, 5 classes is a lot. I don't recommend overloading your class schedule if you don't have to. I really wish that I had taken things a little bit slower and just trusted that I would pass my 4 classes. Another thing I recommend is getting some kind of job when you're in college. I had a bunch of random jobs when I was in school. I did 2 research positions. One was in Iowa and one was in New York. I worked as an academic coach with my university, and I worked for a toilet company. It was like smart toilets. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. I think learning any kind of working environment is good. Another piece of advice I have to offer you in college is to build your credit. It's going to open a lot of doors for you in terms of getting some kind of mortgage. I don't recommend buying a new car, but if you have to make payments, you're going to have to show some kind of credit. It's good to have some form of financial independence and start building that early and over time. I don't think it's really a good thing to view college as kind of this vortex where you go into it for 16 weeks and you live off of coffee and Tums and donuts. I don't know what you do. It's really important to take care of yourself. I remember I was really stressed out this past semester, so I dropped everything and I went to Target. I ended up buying command hooks and like a candle or something. I was super refreshed. I cleaned my entire room and I felt like my life was together. Even if your life isn't together, just tricking yourself into thinking that is going to be infinitely better than ignoring your feelings in the moment. One of the biggest insights I learned about college, being in it, it's only 4 years and you're gonna be working for like 40 years after, which means by math that college is going to be 10 times harder than what you're encountering in the real world. I know that sounds kind of extreme, but think about it. You have to go into each semester not knowing stuff and come out each semester knowing more. That's hard. You might end up working 40 hours a week, but I can't really think of a time when I was in college and I was working a full-time job amount. I was usually working from when I woke up until when I went to sleep. Why am I talking in the past tense? I'm still in college and it's still gonna be busy for me. Paying bills and having kids and stuff. All these things are gonna become skills that you have time to learn. You have 40 years to figure it out. College, you've got 4. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but average 4 years. It's just not a lot of time. Also recognize where you're going to college is your school now. All schools are kind of the same. Where you're going to school now, even if it wasn't your top choice, even if it was your top choice, don't have any expectations going in, except that your experience is probably going to be similar no matter where you go. It's just a process that's preparing you for your adult life afterward. If you can, never go in debt to go to school. It's between going to a fancy private school for $40,000 a year and a community college for a few $1,000s a year. Pick the community college. And there's no real metric for measuring how good a school is at doing certain things. You kind of just need to go and find out. The school is just a platform. You go there, you stand on it, but you can only elevate if you want to. College also doesn't have to be some life-altering, life-changing event. It was an opportunity for me to become a stronger person, to become more self-aware. My main takeaway is that this is really what you make of it. Take care of yourself, build credit. That's it, you guys. Thanks for listening to some of the things I've learned in my 3.5 years of college. Feel free to leave a comment on something that you learned in high school, college, middle school. When I talk, all I want is for me to stop talking.